Golden Gloves at the theater at Madison Square Garden. We move to the 123-pound open division. A couple of fighters who won Golden Gloves a year ago, Michael Stout and Juan Roman. And Roman had been away from the sport for 4 years before coming back in 2011. He says he never really left.
They always ask me every time I see somebody, I know, are you still boxing? They still boxing? And I tell them, yeah, it's what I do. It's the love of the sport. I like boxing. I like to be in the ring. Like, when I'm not in the ring, I start missing it, you know? Like, even if it's sparring, but sparring is not the same as being in competition. Winning is fun. Sometimes when you do something you like, it never goes. You walk around and you shadow boxing, you know what I mean? When I first came back, I was kind of nervous. I didn't know I didn't know how it was gonna happen until I just got better and better and better. That's the only way it's gonna. You go harder and harder, and I'm always challenging myself. I believe in you win during training. You prepare during training, you don't win at the fight. And I like to convince myself during training, so when I come to the fight, I'm sure that I'm gonna win.
From the blue corner, Juan Roman.
It's all up to me. The only way I'm gonna lose is if I let myself lose. All the hard work is already put in, and I feel unstoppable. It's a good feeling.
And there's a good look now at Juan Roman in the ring out of the Brotherhood Boxing Club. But he is up for a very tough bout tonight against Michael Stout, who somehow combines athletics and academics and does both well.
I wake up around 6 a.m. I take my father to Ronkonkoma because we have one car, and then I drive to Stony Brook University. I have classes from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and I stay till about 5 o'clock doing some studies, knock out homework. Then I come back around 6:30, and I train from 7 to 10 at night.
Doesn't take any risk. 1-2, and he gets in, look at that body work, and then goes outside.
It's a very physically demanding sport, and it tests you mentally. So if you could go out there and perform at your best and, you know, get that recognition, it's a wonderful feeling.
From the blue corner, Michael Stout.
Very exhilarating feeling, you know, fighting in front of the lights on camera, and then afterwards when I saw my friends and my family, and they were so excited for me. It was a wonderful experience. I was so excited, you know, I worked so hard, and to finally make it to the pinnacle of the sport as an amateur it was a feeling I will never forget.
Michael Stout, born in Washington, D.C., but looking for the Golden Gloves here in New York. Gonna be a good one. Here's Kevin Van Meter to tell us more.
In the ring now, the 123-pound Open Championship. This bout will consist of 3 3-minute rounds. The referee is Julio Marmol. In the gold corner, Michael Stout. He was the 2011 Gloves champion in the 123-pound novice division. His glove record, 2 decisions, 1 bye. And in the blue corner, Juan Roman, 25 years old. He represents Brotherhood Boxing Club. Juan is from Brooklyn. He was the 2006 Gloves runner-up at 119 pounds and last year's champion at 114 pounds. His glove record, 2 decisions, 1 stop contest.
Michael Stout is in the gold corner and Juan Roman in the blue corner. For this bout, referee is Julio Marmol. And this one, you know, could be a slugfest. Guys with experience, guys who have won titles already. Roman in his 4th Golden Gloves final at the age of 25. And Stout in his 3rd Golden Gloves competition at the age of 22.
How does Stout get all this done in one day? All this studying and fighting and driving. Jeez.
He used words like pinnacle and exhilarating.
I'm out of my league.
You gotta love it.
As you see, Stout's a southpaw, and he's a really nice right jab. Ooh.
Oh man, Roman got through right away. Talk about waking somebody up in the 1st round. combination by Roman. Very impressed with his performance last year against Hamza Al-Nuzayli. He was not favored to win that fight and did. Now he comes back trying to move up in weight and win another Golden Gloves.
I thought Stout would be a little busier right now. Maybe he's just trying to feel his man out, but Roman seems to be the one a little more aggressive right now.
And he looks quicker, John Duddy.
Yes, Stout seems to be very hesitant with his right jab, and usually that's a southpaw's key punch that keeps an orthodox guy off balance, you know. But Roman here is moving fast, and when he comes forward, he's throwing punches and bunches. He's throwing nice combinations and just keeping it nice and bouncy and moving fast.
And Roman talked to us today about trying to be smart. What does that translate to?
Well, I think more so rather than being just coming forward, especially against the southpaw, you just can't walk straight ahead. You got to give him angles, or you're an open target. And he's shown here just from the start that he's trying to move in angles, moving left to right, throwing straight right hands, body and head.
John, is Stout a little too far away from Roman?
I think Stout needs to use his right hand a bit more. He needs to get settled a bit more. I think that he's letting Roman take the initiative too much.
Roman's been very quick, coming across the ring and nailing him with the right hand. And he caught Stout kind of backpedaling on that.
Yes, Stout seems to be waiting for some reason. You know, as you see, he's hesitating, he's feinting, and he's taller, he's got the longer reach, and he doesn't seem to be making the most of it.
You notice when Stout backs up, Roman lets go with his hands, whether it's to the head or to the body, scoring while Stout's backing away and not returning fire.
And Tony doesn't believe in one punch. This guy only believes in combinations.
Figures the judge will see one of them, I guess.
At least one.
And I think the big mistake that Stout's making is that when he's backing up, he's backing straight up. That's why Ramon's able to come forward and just keep throwing punches. He's done his homework.
Counters with the right hand does Juan Ramon. And doubles up with the right hand. And Ramon has got some kind of energy in this first round. Remember, it's only 3 rounds, so you've got to give your best stuff right from the beginning. Good start to this fight. What a first round for Juan Ramon in the 123-pound open division.
Roman just went to work right off the bat, didn't waste any time, John. Just snapped his punches right in there.
Yeah, well, he's not giving Stout any time to think and try to get himself settled, and he hasn't been able to do that. And Roman has just been keeping the pressure on him and throwing, just keeps throwing combinations and seems to be scoring.
So second round action. Stout needs to start throwing some punches. There he goes.
Nice right hook there.
I think the corner woke him up.
And we know that he's fast, and we know he's got style. As a matter of fact, Tony, last year, you said on the air, oh, that's a knockdown, or is that a slip? No, that's a slip. You said that some guys have a pro style. He has what you call a good style, and you were right the way he won that bout over Steven Garrido to win the 2011 123-pound novice title.
The problem is he almost gave away the first round. It seemed like he just wasn't into it. Now he seems a little more aggressive. You see him coming forward. He was coming in behind the jab, and there's the hand speed of Mike Stout.
Yeah, Mike Murphy probably yelled at him in the corner between rounds.
You think?
I think. Get going. This is, there's a right hand by Juan Ramon.
Well, Juan Ramon landed the first punch in the first round, and it was a right hand straight away. So I think that kind of knocked Stout out of his game plan.
See, Stout is stalking a little more. He's not so far away. He's in a position, John, as you talked about earlier, throwing that jab.
He needs to get that jab working.
Right hand lead by Juan Ramon. It should be that jab that's leading for Stout, doubling up and using that right jab often, but it hasn't been that way.
John, you work with fighters sometimes. When they don't throw the jab and you ask them why not, what do they tell you?
Well, usually what I think what happens, a fighter gets into their heads too much and they start thinking, and that's a perfect moment for your opponent to capitalize on you. You know, that's why you hit the bag and hit the pads repetitively over and over. Once you hear the bell, you don't think, you just let it come naturally. Instinct takes over. And unfortunately, sometimes when guys get in there, whether they didn't warm up right or maybe get knocked off their game plan pretty early, he just walked into a nice right hand there again. Stout did.
And I think that Stout's got to be a little careful. When he's backpedaling, if he eats a combination, he could go down because his balance is not as good when he's backpedaling.
Well, it always seems to happen when you've got an orthodox fighter and a southpaw. You know, the clash of the two stance. It's always awkward, and it's usually an ugly fight, but this has been a clean fight, and Roman has been the aggressor, and he's showing that he's constructive aggression. He's not being completely crazy, you know.
You know what's funny? When a southpaw fights a righty, somebody's always stepping on somebody's toes.
Right.
Nobody is, which makes me think Stout's he's still a little too far outside.
Yeah. He certainly needs to close the distance, and the best way of closing the distance is using your jab. He walked me an all right hand there now again.
He won't come in behind it. Now that's a good. He turned it over there nicely.
Final seconds of round number 2. Stout busier in this round. At least on his toes and moving better. But it's still the combinations of Roman, I think, that have punctuated the action. We'll see how that does in terms of the scoring. If you're Michael Stout right now, you've got to let it all hang out.
Okay. Understand? Listen, you have to take this run. You got to be smart, man. Okay. Be smart. All right, you're right.
Now listen,
Come on, man.
listen. You gotta keep your foot on the outside, and you gotta throw crazy left hands, but not lead left hand.
Okay.
1, 3, 2, 3.
Okay.
1, 3, 4, 3. You caught him with the uppercut.
Okay.
All right, and then keep going.
He walked into some right hands, John.
Yeah, well, you see, he knew that he had to pick up his aggression. He had to try and come forward because he kind of gave away the last round. And in doing that, he got clumsy and was walking into straight right hands.
You know why, Tony? It's like a lunging, you know, jab or whatever you want to call it. He's leaving himself open.
He's dropping his hand also, and you expect more out of Michael Stout.
Well, he's still got a chance here. Third round. Final round, 123-pound open division. Michael Stout, Veterans Memorial against Juan Roman, Brotherhood Boxing Club. And the corner of Michael Stout just yelled out, that's what you want to do. Come on. And a combination there. That right hand got through by Michael Stout. And a good body blow.
He's got to stay there. He's got to stay right in front of him and let these hands go.
Looks like he's bending back from the way Stout is and then countering as he's backing up a little bit.
See if Stout can keep it up. He's got to score. I would think he's behind in terms of punches by a bunch.
And again, he's lunging in with that punch, and whenever you're lunging in, you're wide open for a counter, which could easily end up in the canvas.
Right hand got through by Stout, and a right hand came back by Roman.
Caught him.
This is the best action we've seen in this fight, and Roman again counters with the right.
I think we can see here now that Stout is chasing the fight, and Roman is just willing to let him come in and try and catch him that straight right every time.
You can see Stout flurried and pull back real quick and then get back in there. You don't want to waste the clock staying too far outside.
Yeah.
You've got to score.
Yeah.
Especially when you've done the work to get close enough already.
These are two seasoned fighters. And there's a combination nicely put together by Stout as he moves, just what Tony said, get out of trouble.
Stout's defense has been pretty good in this round. He's making Roman miss a bunch, but he's got to be careful.
And again, he's failing to use his jab. His right hand's the key, and he walked on to another straight right hand there.
The right hand was punctuating that last flurry. It was Roman who got through with the most powerful punch, although it doesn't matter. It just counts as one shot, one scoring shot. No question, this has been Stout's best round.
Certainly, I think he's landed the more punches, but the harder punches seem to have come from Roman.
The other thing is, Stout seemed like he almost gave away. Nice shot.
He's got him in a little bit of trouble there, and Michael Stout, the right hand, had Roman off balance. He almost needs to win with a knockout.
He needs to get on him.
If he keeps doing what he's doing, he's piling up the points. He's got a big deficit to close because of that first round. Didn't do much.
But talk about listening to your corner. Michael Stout did a very good job in this third round as he eats a left hook at the buzzer. The bell sounds and Michael Stout gets congratulated. It was a very good round, but was it enough to get back in the fight? I don't think so.
It's a close fight. I think that he gave up too much in the first 2 rounds. But we're not the judges. He did land a lot of combinations, but in the last round especially, Roman was landing one single hard shot every time that he had a chance. And here we have Stoute coming in, catching him, going backwards again with the right hand, which he wasn't using enough in the fight.
And that's just what I thought might happen the other way early on, that Roman would catch Stout going backwards and he could possibly knock him down. Yes. In this case, it was reversed, and you can see what happens when you're backpedaling.
That's it. Well, you know what? When he got the orders from the corner, he knew that he had to pick up his game, and he gave it a result. So it'll be interesting to see how the judges see this.
This is one of those fights you wish went on for a while.
Yeah, I think a few extra rounds that we would have found out who would have been the last guy standing.
Here we go, time for the decision. Kevin Van Meter's got it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the 123-pound Open champion, from the blue corner, Juan Roman.
And I think that's a good call. Stout came back and probably closed the gap. But Roman has his second Golden Gloves title, 114-pound Open class last year. Now he moves up to 123. And he showed us some very good boxing skills and some power to boot. Back with more at the 85th Golden Gloves in a moment.